photo library has these great negatives that are very high res, and that you can actually enlarge to this wall size photo. You know, it's just so wonderful that they still have that.
How long did this exhibition take you to put on?
Like a regular, like about a year, close to a year. And I live in Los Angeles, so I Skype a lot with the team here and make the decisions. But I mean, the first thing I did is give them a structure. And I said, we need to do Mickey black and white, Mickey color, Mickey merchandise, and so for all these areas, because he's such a worldwide star. And so I gave him the structure, and then we worked on each structure and see who we can ask to lend some artwork, or do we have some artwork in the museum already that we can put out. And then the design of each room and each wall. And it was really a fun project. It really was fun. I actually saw it for the first time yesterday morning, walked through for the first time. And even though I knew the imagery from our Skype meetings, and I got the files of the walls, but just seeing it all in 3D, it has there's a buzz in it, like a joyful thing that's going through the air. I mean, yeah, it's Mickey Mouse, but it really has a wonderful feeling to me anyway.
I've stopped smiling since I got here. So.
Yeah. Which is a really great thing.
Yeah.
Here you see just to encourage kids to leave some notes. How have Mickey and Minnie impacted your life? What did you learn about Mickey and Minnie from this exhibition? So we have these little pieces of paper that they can write things on and post them right there. And a few of them have already. And there's a couple more questions over here. How do Mickey and Minnie inspire you? What is your favorite childhood memory of Mickey and Minnie? Same thing, they can grab these things and post their memories right there. And I think for a kid that's sort of a fun feel. They went to a museum and they leave some thing of themselves here, like a thought or a drawing downstairs. It's kind of fun. So let's move on in. So this, of course, deals with Mickey and the theme parks. What's so interesting about this collage of photos from various decades at Disneyland is that this is how we know him now, but there were times where it was a little icky in terms of appeal. Had to start somewhere, and I'm particular at this boy's face. I don't know what he dreamt about that night after these two gigantic mice kind of staring down on him. So it took a while and several versions of these costume characters to get to the point that they are now, where they do look friendly, and don't scare kids. But there were some versions that, rather unique, I should say. Mickey Mouse became the symbol after Walt's passing. This is a magazine cover from France, Paris Match, that became kind of famous. And this is from a local publication up there. The whole world was warning. And of course, when Mickey Mouse cries, the whole world cries. So he kind of became the graphic symbol of Walt's passing. And getting into the fine art business of Mickey and how he influenced fine artists. A U.S. artist, and everybody has their own take on it. Even an animator like Walt Kimball would do his crazy abstract stuff, have some fun with it. Some of you might have seen various versions of these paintings because they've been in publications and magazines. This is the original we have right here is by Charles Boyer, who had fun painting Walt Disney as he's drawing and painting Mickey Mouse. I love the whole thing that he has referenced by old masters and modern masters out there, like a real artist studio. So this is an original. These versions are prints right here. So it all actually started with Norman Rockwell doing this, which inspired this painting, which inspired this painting.
So there's something that has like so here, like the Disneyland things and the basic ones that we actually assembled was there's Disneyland one.
Here's a really abstract painter, Japanese American, and I always have to read it because it's such a difficult name. Matsumi Kanemitsu, who does very abstract things, but he insists that he put some hidden Mickeys in these things. So it'll take you some time to find out, where those would be. You can see, certain ears and circles, but it's a challenge. But he put them in there.
Shanghai doesn't really get that very hot. Hong Kong gets really hot. Shanghai is hot.
I've been there some summers, man. It's pretty nasty.
But I'm from Georgia, so like,
Oh yeah.
heat.
Okay, it's even over 75 Fahrenheit.
When it happens, well, I moved to
Right?
Shanghai gets muggy.
No, I'm from Savannah.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed out. I always wanted to walk over there. Bob Iger has an original Damien Hirst, and I don't know of how many of these exist because he did a few variations. Damien Hirst has one original, and we have Bob Iger's for 3 months, and then guess what? It's going back to Bob Iger's house, but Damien Hirst is sending his from the UK, so that's going to go here instead.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cool? So there will always be a Damien Hirst here. Yeah, I just love this. It's just circles. There's no other shape in there but circles. And that gets us to these partners in crime here, Tennessee and Saran, and they have their own art here, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So these three pieces actually are part of a collection called 10 by 10 by 10, which means 10 chapters of 10 Mickeys by Tennessee. First name. So those pieces, these are donated to the museum. They were after pieces, but what you see right here is 99 paintings from the book that was published in this piece, which was very difficult to do, but somehow my ADD brain got it done. So everything you see in here is 99 paintings all in one. Which, by the way, I had to redo digitally for y'all. So the original painting was called Everything Bagel.
Oh yeah?
Yes, but because there's so much on a bagel. But everything here, because it's digital, it's called Everything Bagel plus Digital Smear. Because I had to redo it for y'all. But I'm very excited to see it here.
Thank you for doing it. I mean, I just love it.
Well, you and I and our connection is very fascinating. Because when I was an artist, I was working in marketing, and someone saw my paintings on the side of a cubicle, and they said, I think he might be smart. Maybe they might be right. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm completely colorblind, so I can't actually see the colors that you see.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. And so when I painted Dave Pacheco, the lead artist at DCP, had said, well, we want you to do this Mickey project. And I said, well, you're not going to get what you want because I'm colorblind. And he goes, well, we don't care. And I was like, what does that mean? I didn't know. And he said, just be weird and feel how you want to do color. And this is the result of it. So what y'all see is what I can't see, but still I paint it just the same.
It is absolutely stunning. It's mind-boggling, actually. Yeah.
So this is what you get.
So how many Mickeys have you done in your career?
Well, technically 109.
Technically.
Yes, but 108 of those did not get, well, that's sorry, 8 of those did not get approved.
So way over 100.
Yeah, Mickey was my thing for a long time. And I think the reason why, I mean, I come from the South, if you couldn't tell. And I grew up very, just out of my box. And Mickey Mouse was the only cartoon that made me feel like I was somebody. So when I moved to Disney as a temp, I was like, I'm never gonna get a job because I got tattoos on my face, and at the time I had giant earrings. And Disney brought me in and said, you were really smart. If you could be doing what you're doing at Amazon.com and all of what you're doing, you must be smart enough to be an artist and work at the company. So because of that, y'all made me be who I am today.
Isn't that a cool personal story?
It's
This
amazing.
man now has galleries all over the world.
I mean, I have a few.
Just look him up on look him up online all over the world.
I mean, I'm kind of international, so that's cool.
Yeah. Just an amazing story with amazing art.
Well, I'm so happy to be back here with y'all.
Well, let's move over to
Yes.
Siron, who's going to talk about his fantastic mural here. Thanks for coming by, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Let's move over here. Come on, everybody. Get the sideline over here.
Okay, so
Move on through, please.
yeah, maybe so I can project pretty loud though, so I'm a pretty big loudspeaker. So I'm Saron Norris. This is my piece, Generations. I was just honored to get the opportunity to get this commission, and really they opened it up and let me do whatever I wanted. As a muralist, I have a lot of murals in San Francisco. As a muralist, I feel like if you're going to put like public art out there, I feel like you have a little bit of a responsibility to like tell a story or to send a positive message. So I kind of took this opportunity as like this situation where I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to kind of celebrate the museum. Now that it's 10 years, I feel like it's fair to say that Mickey Mouse kind of lives in the Presidio now, so I wanted to kind of explore that. I also wanted to I really like to do San Francisco stuff. I like to do architecture and landscape. So it really kind of fit really good to kind of actually draw the museum in my style and kind of create things that kind of connect to the museum. My biggest personal thing as a cartoonist is Mickey Mouse and how he has changed through the generations, basically kind of connecting to popular culture at that time. So as an artist, I wanted to try to make sure that I got every kind of period of Mickey the best I could, just to kind of be able to see that comparison. Also, this was about Mickey Mouse, so it was the best way, in my mind, to be able to get Mickey Mouse throughout this whole entire piece and it not be why is that Mickey Mouse like the same Mickey Mouse everywhere? So I thought it was a way to kind of get Mickey everywhere, but not really have anything be repetitive. In terms of black and white, I designed this mural originally in black and white, just as a rough design, and they were actually, we were laying it out and getting stuff ready for the catalog, and so they were just laying out this exhibit just with my design. And it ended up actually looking really good, so we just went for doing the final in black and white. And I actually really like it. It's important that it ended up being black and white. I think it's a great choice because the black in Mickey is really kind of the most important thing that I wanted to kind of show, in this consistency of these ears. And just kind of just that design and the pure white and the pure black. So it just really worked out beautiful. I think like in terms of this being a piece, like a lot of my pieces in the city, they are very interactive. So I want people to look at the piece, but then I also want people to actually like engage with it a little bit deeper. So in this situation, I've created a bunch of little hidden Mickey heads that you have to, there's 12 I think. And then so you have to like find them all around. There's some like really small ones too. Also, like a hidden thing throughout the mural, there's one right there. All throughout the city, I have like some 20-some murals. And in the murals, since I've been married for like 10 and a half years, I put I Love Lori in every single one of my murals. And so people try to find them. I usually like give people, sometime every once in a while, I'll put like a scavenger hunt out on social media and then give people some stickers or something like that if they can go around the city and actually try to find it. So it is actually in this piece. So someone, if you want to try to find it, you can find it.
Let's find it right now. Let's go for it.
I did this piece digitally on a Cintiq, a 4x4 Cintiq, which is basically just a big screen that I tilt down and draw on the screen in Illustrator. So this is basically the same thing that everybody uses at Pixar and stuff like that. So I do a lot of stuff digital. This I thought was really appropriate to do digital because if you think about it, you know, this is basically Mickey Mouse is the epitome of cartoons and basically digital work or hand-drawn work. So I really wanted to kind of connect to that. It is all on television or it is all on a comic book. So it has all gone through a process already. So I wanted to kind of get into that idea too, that you draw Mickey Mouse, but then it has to go through a final process to be output into this form, just like a television show or a movie or something like that. So yeah, that's about it. I try to be meta with everything that I do. So, you know, you are literally here. So I just try to be fun and try to have pieces that people kind of engage with. But I'm super proud of it. Drawing Mickey Mouse was very hard. I thought it would be very easy. It was very, very challenging. You either have a choice of creating your own style or towing the line. And if you toe the line, then you are like held to a really high standard, and it's hard to fit there. I feel like I hit it like 85%, which I'm not going to complain about. It was tough.
You want to talk about the tree in the center there almost? There's a little story behind that, isn't there?
Oh yeah, well, you know, yeah, that's true. You know, my favorite artist personally is Ivan Nero, and he did Sleeping Beauty. He did the backgrounds for that. He actually had a really big show here last year, and that was actually my connection with the museum, is because I actually was asked to go to visit that show and had a writer write about my impression of that show. He is basically like my like favorite artist. I've emulated his work. I've really studied it just because as a muralist, you want to try to create backgrounds. You want to try to create backgrounds that are efficient. And he did that. And I really analyzed his work and figured out how he did that and got a lot of mileage out of doing very simple things. And so, same thing with Mary Blair too. I tried to really bring these past shows of the museum and really celebrate these big things that happened in the museum and these big artists that they celebrated and kind of bring all that in here. So it's really kind of like an interesting piece to where, okay, this is like at 10 years and now, you know, we're going forward from that. So it's a really great collection of the museum and all its artists, which I happen to be connected to visually, and I kind of add them in my style anyways. So that just kind of ended up being serendipitous and just working out.
So here we have more fine art examples. This is sort of an interesting situation. There's a place in different ways in San Francisco for Mission District, yes, for mentally and physically handicapped people. Yeah, and so they were given the assignment to draw their version of Mickey, and Diane Disney Miller was so touched by the interpretations that she bought a whole bunch of them for her collection. So we have some of those right here. This is a colleague of mine. He's an animator. He wrote a book on Walt Disney's life with many illustrations, and this is the book cover. And I'm not going to go and get into every single piece here, but you can explore that over there if you want. This is actually a real Schultz drawing. I had never seen like Snoopy and Mickey in one drawing. This is actually Schultz having done this. Really wonderful piece. And then of course here we have Mr. Andy Warhol. And I never knew until I saw this piece that there's actually sparkle in the painting. I've seen this in print, in books, where it doesn't sparkle, you know. But when you see it in person, it gives it this sort of little bit of Hollywood glamour to it, I guess. And that belongs to the Disney family, this piece. More Mickey interpretation by Eric Robertson, who also did works for Disney Consumer Products. So they do prints out of these paintings and sell them. But yeah, he's done Mickey like in many different ways, techniques. So these are prints, but these are original paintings by his Disney. And then last not least, we have the return of Mickey. Because he was kind of gone, at least from film, for quite a while. The last Mickey Mouse classic short was called The Simple Things, in 1953. And then the market for short films in general kind of dried up. Theaters just wanted to show the features. They didn't want to have the ice-breaking short film in front anymore. So it was like all studios almost stopped. Warner Brothers with Bugs Bunny, MGM with Tom and Jerry, and Disney, you know, kind of. Well, Disney still did short films, but more educational films with Donald Duck and the Wheel, you know, those things. But there was this big break, from 1953 to Mickey's Christmas Carol, which is the mid-80s. He was not on the big screen. So at that time, I was at the studio working on The Black Cauldron, which was a feature. And my buddy Mark Ken was a supervising animator on Mickey's Christmas Carol on that film. So this is like a sketch from that film. I was a few years later involved in The Prince and the Pauper. So that's an original drawing, a sketch of mine. And these are cell setups. The backgrounds are prints, but the cells are real. This is the last, that's right, this is the last animated film at Disney that used cells. Because after that, the drawings, the paper drawings were scanned and then colorized on the Cintiq. So this is the last project that had cells. And then, of course, we see more Mickey Mouse versions of him over here. Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas was a few shorts, Christmas themed, that were just produced for the DVD market. And I was involved actually in that project as an advisor, because the CG people at that time weren't very good with movie Mickey Mouse. It looked a little static. So I would get printouts from their scenes and I would like do draw-overs and stretch him out a little bit more and add more dynamics to the pose. So I was a consultant on this project. And then of course Mickey Mouse became famous again with little kids. Sort of a juvenile version of the world of Mickey Mouse for the Disney Channel Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And then the latest version of Mickey will be also seen on the Disney Channel. And it's kind of a funny mix of playing homage to the old shorts, because we see the old Mickey Mouse right here with these old-fashioned eyes and all that, but in a stylized kind of a funky way. And these were also very, very popular on the Disney Channel. I think they stopped producing them in 2013. No, I believe it was. No, I think they stopped a couple of years ago. But they did lots of these shorts, and kids love them. Then over here is some artwork from Get a Horse. We saw a clip earlier on which shows Mickey as the old Mickey and in CG, so how he started out and how he's handled now mostly. And so yeah, that's up until now. So we'll see what happens next. But to me, it's sort of interesting that Mickey goes through these versions, even in Walt's days, right? And they change the eyes and they change his look and his proportions, and people don't mind, you know. You'd think there would be some people saying, well, that's not the Mickey I like, you know. People go along with it, and if the reinvention is fun and spirited, then they're going for it, which is really unique, I think. So that is the exhibit.